Honestly, I'm so over the misconception that thicker hair is always better. I'm Charnel, a woman with type 4C, fine, low-density, natural hair. And I've always struggled finding YouTube creators with a similar hair combination as me. And then when I do find someone that potentially has a good close match, their videos are full of how to thicken their fine, low-density natural hair. And then I ask myself, why is the content that is geared towards women with low-density hair always about thickening their hair? As if to say having thin hair or low-density hair is a problem. And I can't tell you how many videos I have seen across my YouTube homepage of creators with thicker hair claiming that their recipe and their concoction can thicken your natural hair. I mean, it's as much of a pipe dream as telling a type 4C woman that she can change her hair pattern to 3B or 3A. And granted, I know there are some women here on YouTube who claim that their density changed as time went on, but I've been natural for well over almost 2 decades, and my hair has remained the same in terms of density. And part of my mission here on the Coily Code is to be that person that can represent a woman with type 4C fine, low density natural hair, and not just use it in my keyword tags just so that I can attract the women who feel insecure about their hair. I am at a point where it's nauseating. With certain tools, you can see that content creators who do not have type 4C natural hair are putting that in their tags. The content creators who don't have thin, low density hair are putting low density hair or thin to thick hair in their keywords. So just for the sake of accuracy, I'm gonna start using these tags so that a woman who has a similar hair combination as I do can actually find someone who's going to empower her, encourage her, and help her to accept her low density type 4C fine natural hair. Low density natural hair actually refers to the number of hair strands per square inch on your scalp that a person might have. And often characteristics of someone with low density hair is someone who has thin or the appearance of thin hair, as well as being able to see your scalp without parting and such things like that, where there's usually like a big space when you're parting your natural hair. I also find that a good measure of whether you have low density hair or medium or high is when you straighten your hair. When I straighten my hair, I'm practically bald. Okay, so that's the way that I usually will measure it as well. Now here's the thing, your genetics determines the density of your hair. Your genes determine the number of follicles on your scalp, and current medical procedures and cosmetic surgeries cannot increase that number. And then aside from that, your hair grows through a growing, resting, and shedding phase. And not at any point in that cycle are all your hair strands in the same phase. You may have some that are growing, some that are resting, and some that are about to shed. So if you think about it, there are some times where your hair may appear thicker because perhaps most of your hair is in a resting stage. And then you may experience when it looks thinner because a lot of your hair is shedding. Now obviously shedding is normal, but then there is something that goes beyond normal, which would be considered hair loss, and that's usually due to medical issues. The next point I want to raise is that low density does not mean hair loss. I look for scientifically backed methods for thickening your natural hair, but these methods were only considered useful for people who have suffered hair loss. Now indeed, you might be able to find that these techniques could help you thicken your hair, but they will be ineffective unless you're experiencing hair loss. 4 scientifically backed methods were minoxidil, which is Rogaine, and the caveat to this one is that when you stop using it, you will also lose the hair strands that came, or the thickness that came with using that product. So if you get on something like minoxidil or Rogaine, you're gonna have to use it basically for the rest of your life. The next is low-level laser therapy. This can range from $200 to $800, so it's quite costly, but if that's in your budget, most insurances will not cover this type of therapy. The next one is platelet-rich plasma therapy. This can range from $400 to $2,000. And lastly, the most expensive is hair transplant surgery. And this can range anywhere from $1,000 to $25,000. And not only is this type of surgery invasive, but the long-term consequences of such have not been fully researched and studied and observed over time. So where does that leave us girlies with low density natural hair? Well, to me, it leaves us unbothered. I don't think that type 4C fine low density natural hair girlies should be trying to do anything to thicken their hair. Actually, if I really consider, having fine low density natural hair is quite a winning combination, if you ask me. Number one, your hair is easier to manage and quicker to style. Number two, it's light and airy. Yeah, light and airy is beautiful, it's elegant, it's feminine, and it's quite a masterpiece. Number three, you have unique styling opportunities. Yes, you can do mini braids, you can do mini twists, you can do ponytails. Have you seen some of our thicker hair girlies try it? They can't even do ponytails. They have to settle for puffs unless they want to pull out their edges, and they have to be very strategic about it. Like, I know for some, they'll do a half ponytail for both so that they're able to fit all their hair. But with us fine low density girls, we can pull our hair back into a ponytail, and there's nothing as glamorous and beautiful as a ponytail. Trust me, as soon as my hair gets long enough, that's probably what you'll all probably see me in. And you don't even have to tie it very tightly. We can wear ponytails and it not have any type of ramifications with it. Now, obviously, if you pull that ponytail too tight, goodbye, right? So that's for anybody. But for us with low density natural hair, that's an effortless style. Number four, you don't have to use as much product. Like, that's much easier on your wallet. Because of your low density and fine texture, that dime size may actually work out for you just, well, maybe slightly more, because I think texture hair needs just a little bit more product than what's recommended on the label. But yeah, that's less product. You know, I rarely get through any bottle of product in a long period of time, whereas our girlies with thicker hair, they go through product very quickly. Number five, when it comes to washing your hair, that's a breeze. When it comes to drying your hair, that's also a breeze. Do you know, for me to blow dry my natural hair, it literally takes me less than 30 minutes. And lastly, as controversial as this is going to sound, there is an elegance of low volume. If you ever look through history and look at women with, whether their hair was like natural, like, you know, black hair or straight hair, the low volume has been considered a look of timelessness and elegance. And that is something that is very special to us girls with low density natural hair. You can achieve a sleeker look better than anyone. And that is the masterpiece that is low density fine type 4C natural hair. The only reason you may not be happy with your low density type 4C fine natural hair, and you're constantly looking for the next recipe or the next method or the next trend to thicken your hair, is because you actually believe a made up lie. You believe that the only acceptable and beautiful textures out there are anything but type 4C or type 4B. You believe that low density hair is not beautiful. You believe these made up lies in comparison to what the world has heralded as the beauty standard. Not just a Eurocentric beauty standard, but even within each cultural group, those beauty standards. People have told you and shown you and forced you to believe that anything other than type 4C, fine, low density, short natural hair is not beautiful. So the next time you scroll on YouTube and you are looking for, or you happen to see pop up on your feed videos that talk about thickening your natural hair or how to make your natural hair thicker, I want you to consider two questions. I want you to ask yourself if you genuinely believe that thicker hair is better, or if it's just pressure from society making you feel that way. Take a moment to consider if you're trying to thicken your hair for your own personal fulfillment, which there could be a lot of problems there, but let's just go with it. Or if it's to conform to an unrealistic, biased, on purpose, intentional, ungrounded beauty standard. Now, I didn't always embrace my natural hair as someone with type 4C, fine, low density, on the very far undesirable end of the spectrum to the world, because to me, it's a winning combination. However, I didn't always embrace that. And there were a lot of things I had to go through to go from hating my hair to loving my hair. I go into further detail in this video here where I talk about 5 reasons why it took me so long to get to that point of loving my hair, as well as how I finally got to that point too. Thank you so much for watching. If this was your first time visiting, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to thumbs up, and don't leave without saying hello. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!